At the top of PowerPoint, there's a row of icons called the Quick Access Toolbar that lets you use various commands whenever you need them, and you can customize it however you'd like. At first, you've only got a handful of commands to choose from, such as save and undo. But I want the open command to be available whenever I need it, so let's customize it. First, click the arrow to the right. From here, you can add whichever command you'd like. Let's choose open, and now it's ready. Aside from using the menu, you can also add commands directly from the ribbon. Let's say I want to add the Pictures command. I can click on the Insert tab, then right-click on Pictures, select Add to Quick Access Toolbar, and there it is. Not only can I add commands, but I can also get rid of them. To remove a command, simply right-click on it and select Remove from Quick Access Toolbar. And that's it. Customizing the Quick Access Toolbar lets you keep your favorite commands close by whenever you need them. Let's say you're in the middle of a presentation and someone asks a question unrelated to the slide on screen. To keep your audience from getting distracted while you respond, you can hide your slideshow with a single keystroke. At any point during your slideshow, simply press the W key to display a blank white slide. Then press W again to go back. You can also press the B key to display a black slide, and press it again when you're ready to return. This little shortcut gives you more control over your slideshow during a presentation. Changing the zoom in PowerPoint normally involves clicking on the zoom buttons, but if you're changing it often, this process can become tedious. Luckily, we know a shortcut that lets you quickly zoom with the scroll wheel on your mouse. While in edit mode, hold Control and move the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. If you're on a laptop with a trackpad, hold Control and use the pinch gesture to zoom. Now you can adjust your view without having to click a thing. When you want to go from desktop to slideshow, you normally have to open the file, wait for PowerPoint to load, then click a button to get your slideshow going. If you're about to start a presentation, this process can waste time. But instead of waiting around, you can make your PowerPoint files open in slideshow mode, taking you from desktop to presentation in mere moments. From the desktop, simply right-click on your PowerPoint file and select Show. Then it'll open in slideshow mode, where you can present it like normal. To close the slideshow, press Escape, and it'll take you back to the desktop. Keep this trick in mind whenever you want to launch into your presentation at a moment's notice. If you're in the middle of a presentation and you want to return to an earlier slide, you would normally have to go back one slide at a time, wasting time in the process. However, there are multiple shortcuts that let you jump to a specific slide while you're in slideshow mode. For the first shortcut, press a number, then enter, and you'll immediately go to that slide. For example, let's say I want to return to slide 4. So I press 4, then enter, and here it is. This shortcut is best for smaller presentations where it's easier to memorize the number of each slide. If you prefer to choose your slide from a list, press Ctrl and S to display the title of every slide in your presentation. Just click your choice, then select Go To, and you'll go there immediately. For the final shortcut, just press the G key to display thumbnails of every slide. Click on the one you want, and you're there. Keep in mind that this shortcut only works in PowerPoint 2013 and up. With so many ways to get around your presentation, you can jump to any slide you want in an instant. When you need to check your spelling or use the thesaurus in PowerPoint, you don't have to click and search through menus. Instead, you can use keyboard shortcuts. To start the spell check, just press F7. It'll start with errors on your current slide and continue through the rest of your presentation. If you're on a laptop, you may also need to hold the Function key as you press F7 to activate the shortcut. For the thesaurus, just select a word and press Shift and F7. The thesaurus will then pop up and give you some help. These shortcuts can help speed up your workflow as you polish your presentation. Problems happen now and then, and sometimes you don't get the chance to save your presentation before your computer crashes or you lose power. Thankfully, PowerPoint will help you recover unsaved presentations. When you open PowerPoint, the document recovery window will appear if it recovered any unsaved files. Simply click on the file to open it, and then close the window. To find your unsaved files after the window closes, click the File tab, then select Open. At the bottom of your recent presentations, click Recover Unsaved Presentations, and then select a file to open. Keep this feature in mind next time you have computer trouble, and hopefully your hard work won't be lost. When using audio or video in PowerPoint, the file size of your presentation can get big. A large file size can make your presentation harder to share or even slow down performance. To get that size under control, you can compress the media in your presentation. We recommend making a backup copy of your presentation before doing any compression, because once you save and close the file, the change will be permanent. To compress your media, click the File tab, then select Compress Media. PowerPoint offers 3 different levels of compression, but for now, we'll choose presentation quality to get a nice balance between file size and quality. And thanks to compression, we've lowered the file size by more than 10 megabytes. Finally, click Close to leave the window. Compressing media files can help make a large presentation more manageable. When moving PowerPoint objects, it can be tough keeping them aligned. Let's say I want to move this picture to the middle part of the slide, while keeping its vertical alignment exactly the same. But as I move the picture across the slide, it's difficult to keep my cursor perfectly steady, which causes my picture to get out of alignment. However, there's an easy solution that lets you keep an object aligned while you move it. First, click and hold the object, then hold down Shift as you move it. Once you start moving the cursor, the object should maintain its current alignment, even if your cursor isn't completely steady. Use this quick tip whenever you need to keep moving objects under control. Matching colors in your presentation doesn't have to be difficult. By using PowerPoint's eyedropper, your text, shapes, and other objects can match any color you desire in just a few steps. I want my title to match these green arrows, so I'll select the title, then click the font color drop-down arrow, and select the eyedropper. I'll hover over one, and when I've got the right color in the window, I'll click. Now my title matches the arrows. You're not limited to colors found within PowerPoint. To grab a color from anywhere on your computer screen, select the eyedropper, then click and drag it wherever you like. When you find a color you want, like this blue here, release the mouse. Your selection will then match your chosen color. Thanks to the eyedropper, matching colors in PowerPoint can be simple and effective. If you ever want to change up your PowerPoint images, consider cropping them into custom shapes. These creative touches can add some flair to your slideshow and help make it more memorable. The square shape of this pasta image is okay, but I want to make it an oval instead. To do that, I'll click the image, then select the Format tab. Next, I'll click on the Crop drop-down arrow and hover over Crop to Shape. Now I can choose whatever shape I like, so let's pick the oval. Sometimes when you select a shape, the proportions may be a little off at first. If you need to make adjustments, click Crop and move the cropping handles as needed. Then you can click away from the image to see the results. Keep in mind that these types of cropped images should be used sparingly, especially if you're using uncommon shapes. When in doubt, keep it simple. When used correctly, however, cropping your images with custom shapes can help your slideshow stand out. Aligning objects helps keep your slide clean and professional, and PowerPoint makes it easy thanks to guides. For instance, smart guides automatically appear when you move objects, aligning the edges or center of an object with another. But if you want to align things in a more intricate way, smart guides may not be enough. See the line in the middle of the logo? I want the homemade gnocchi text to align with it, but a smart guide can't help here. Instead, let's create our own guide. I'll right-click on an empty space away from the slide and hover over Grid and Guides. I'll select Add Horizontal Guide, and then I'll click and drag it to the line in the logo. Then I'll move the text, and it'll snap in place as I get close. If you want more guides, just repeat the process to get as many as you need. When you want to get rid of a guide, right-click on it and select Delete. The cool thing about these guides is that they'll stay in place as you go between slides, ensuring your slides stay consistent. Guides make it a little easier to create a well-organized slideshow, so don't be afraid to give them a try. If you're presenting your work on someone else's computer, and they don't have every font in your presentation, your slides may look wrong. One font I'm using is called Barlow Condensed, which is not installed on most computers by default. To prevent issues, I can embed fonts within a PowerPoint file to ensure it looks right regardless of where I present it. To embed fonts, click the File tab, then select Options. Click Save, and then check the box for Embed Fonts in the file. You can then choose to embed only the specific characters you've used, or all the characters of every font in your presentation. Consider the first option if you only need to present on someone else's computer, while the second option is best if you're sharing the file and expect others to edit the text. Once you've made your choice, click OK. Keep in mind there are limitations to embedding fonts. For instance, this feature is only available in Windows. Also, some fonts cannot be embedded due to various restrictions. We recommend testing the file on the computer you'll use during your presentation to ensure the fonts are embedded properly. That way, you'll be sure your fonts stay consistent wherever you go. Sometimes you may want to copy an animation from one object to another. Instead of going through the animation process all over again, you can duplicate it and spare yourself some hassle. First, I'll select the animation I want to duplicate. I know this Answer Neil Armstrong text box has a nice fade animation, so let's use that one. Next, I'll go up to the Animations tab and click on Animation Painter. My cursor will have a paintbrush beside it while the Animation Painter is active. Now I need to find the object I want to animate. I'll select the next slide and click Answer Mercury. Just like that, my animation is duplicated and the Animation Painter will switch off. If you need to duplicate an animation more than once, just double-click the Animation Painter. Then you can copy your animation as many times as you please. When you're done, click the Animation Painter again to shut it off. This tip should save you some time and effort as you animate your slideshow. Usually when you put audio in a slideshow, that audio will stop playing as soon as you change the slide. However, we can make it play across multiple slides, opening opportunities for music, narration, or any other creative idea you may have. I want to add music to give my slideshow some energy, and I want that music to start on my opening slide here. So, I'll click the Insert tab, select Audio, then Audio on my PC. The audio I want to use is called Together We Can, so I'll select it and click Insert. With the audio object selected, make sure the Playback tab is open, and then choose Play in Background. Let's start the slideshow and hear how it turned out. Now the audio plays across the entire slideshow. This trick can open up all sorts of new ideas for your presentations, so have fun experimenting. Whenever you need a chart in PowerPoint, you don't need to create a new one from scratch. Instead, you can embed Excel charts in your slides. First, I'll right-click on my chart in Excel and copy it. Then I'll go back to PowerPoint and right-click on my slide. I'll look for an icon labeled Use Destination Theme and Link Data, and I'll click it to paste the chart into PowerPoint. Keep in mind that it may need adjustments to make it fit with the presentation. Not only is the chart attached to my slide, but it will also update itself if I make any changes to the Excel data. For instance, if I go back to Excel and change the February romance sales to $1,000, the chart will instantly update in PowerPoint. Embedding Excel charts in your slides can help your presentations leave an impression.